thank you for joining us, the Hellhound. Jason Hyde, how are you?
I'm alright, how are you?
Good, man, good. I know we were just saying before we started, that is an amazing background.
Thank you.
Let's just clear up as well, it's a real background.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
my
a
wall.
gimmicky Skype background. It's legit.
Sometimes I need to move my head a bit like this to see if it glitches, but it's there.
It's legit, man. That's as real as it gets.
It took a lot of convincing my girlfriend to let me put it in the living room, but we made it eventually.
You got your own way.
Basically, yeah, I just nag enough and I tend to get it.
Me and Callum are big side, space and all that stuff. That's amazing, man. Are you? I mean, before we talk wrestling, are you a sci-fi guy as well? And is that what this is?
Yeah, I've got a office kind of under construction in the house now, and that's getting one of them. But it's the time vortex for Doctor Who.
Oh, amazing.
Well, the TARDIS flying about it, and I've got loads of sonic screwdrivers and stuff, and Star Wars and things like that. I'm proper nerdy. The glasses are like my license for it.
I think I saw something on your Twitter before that you posted about Doctor Who recently.
Yeah, I want the BBC to cast me as the 14th Doctor.
Dog, you've got our vote, mate. Let's make that happen.
I tried to get a hashtag on, but only my graphic designer pal was really into it because he makes the posters. I think it'd be fantastic.
Hell yeah!
Mate, I've known you for about 5 minutes and you've already got my vote.
Thank you. See,
you need charisma and charm and a bit of wit to be a doctor. You've got that.
All I need is the BBC to have a conversation with me, but they don't seem interested at all. They seem really unkeen.
It's their loss, mate. It's their loss. I'm sure someone else will pick you up for a sci-fi role, and they'll be crying.
I've never seen Doctor Who, but you've got my vote as well. So
perfect. That's two. We'll get like a change.org thing going.
Yeah, let's do it. If you want something doing these days, you start a petition on the internet.
Exactly. That's how we get everything.
Now you've got our vote, man. Like I said, I've never seen Doctor Who, but I did see your interview with the Scottish Wrestling Network. I know you said your favourite Doctor Who was Peter Capaldi.
Oh yes.
Really?
I love just because I love Peter Capaldi in the thick of it. So I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one. And I've never seen Star Wars as well, which drives Callum insane.
That's a bit of cardinal sin. That's kind of like entry level.
Never seen Star Wars, never seen Doctor Who. He likes No, you don't like Star Trek, do you?
I love Star Trek.
I love Star Trek. That's okay. Star Trek's cool.
Yeah. I don't
know where the line is with Jamie.
I've never seen a Marvel film.
I'm more a comic guy, but it's more DC comics I prefer. Specifically Batman. I've got I've got a whole kind of Batman sleeve going on with the Joker and stuff.
That's awesome.
I'm a Batman guy. I'm a huge Batman nerd, so we've got that one at least. But I do love Star Trek. But even my own dad rolled his eyes at me when I said I'd never seen Star Wars. Even he was disgusted with me, and that's my own father. So
good.
I guess I need to watch Star Wars, don't I, at some point?
Do it for Jason.
I mean, there's lockdown as well, so there's no excuses. So there's little going on for Indy.
And there's Disney Plus now, which I can happily give him my details for. I'll make him an account. They've got all the Star Wars films on there. Every bit of Star Wars ever made is on Disney Plus. Even the Christmas special, which I don't like to discuss, but it's on there.
It's there. It exists. And that's the best end they can say about it.
It's out of all the Christmas Star Wars films, it's my favourite.
Of all the Christmas films, it's definitely one of them.
It's one of them, mate. You're right.
No, I wouldn't put it up anywhere.
Well, we can discuss Disney Plus at some point. I'm not on lockdown. I work at the hospital, Jason, so I'm still going to work.
Still out there. Thank you for your service.
Yeah. So lockdown's not happening for me really, but ain't no Star Wars. He's going to make me watch it at some point. Let's talk some wrestling. Let's talk some wrestling. So obviously, where did it all begin, man? I mean, I saw something where you was first into The Rock, then Jeff Hardy. Is that why you thought, right, I'm going to do this?
I think when I was a child, I get into like I get into like metal music early, and that's when I drifted to Jeff Hardy. I was like, right, I need to like him. I'm growing into a goth, so there's only one way I can go. And then, weirdly enough, it all became kind of smaller guys, like kind of him and Punk, Daniel Bryan, and stuff like that. But I was never into bigger guys until like I watched Kevin Steen at the time on Indies, and he was kind of a bigger guy, and he was doing all the kind of more agile stuff, and I wanted to try that, which was much to my own damage, because I probably nearly died about 800 times trying to do any of the stuff he does. But it became big guys later on, I would say.
I mean, Kevin Owens is, like you said, I'm a huge Kevin Owens fan, Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens. And like you said, the things he can do for his build and size are incredible. They really are. But what is it about the smaller guys then, like the Bryans and the Punk? What was it about them?
I really like there's one kind of specific match structure, and the best way to put it is, see when like Brock Lesnar wrestles a smaller guy, and it's always the same structure, but it's always really good. It was kind of stuff like that kind of I liked for the weird guys, which also probably transitioned me into also getting into like kind of bigger guys when I go older, and kind of because when you're younger as well, like the bigger guys are mostly kind of the heels, and you kind of buy into it when you're younger. If the heels are bad, the faces are good. So that's kind of why I went down that route probably. Yeah,
the matches that Brock Lesnar had with AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, they've all been classics.
Brilliant. Like, I have a weird appreciation of Brock Lesnar where, like, when he's there, I often get proper frustrated, but then when he's not there, I miss him.
Right.
Like, I miss him properly bad, don't I?
Yeah.
And people give him stick for not being there and stuff, but like you said, when he's there, the guy is untouchable. He gets it.
He's one of the best sellers in the company when he wants to.
When he wants to sell for you, he will sell, man. That's like why. It's a weird thing I have with Brock Lesnar. I did once say that I would batter him after Goldberg did it really quickly, and I was in this bar, and I think it was actually Kenny McIntosh, who I had never met before in my life, was quite drunk and just went up to me. I was like, I'll sort that. He's less than whatever big egg he took.
Do you reckon you can take Lesnar then? Let's
Absolutely
get on record.
No.
Come on, man. We need a soundbite.
Brock Lesnar shoots beer for fun.
We're just going to now as well, weren't we, Callum?
What's that?
We're just going to book this match, weren't we? Well,
yeah, we're going to get it booked, man. Like,
I mean, if we're going to book it, I would need to be assisted by, like, I don't see, like, proper mental uncles that should be in jail, but they're no, like, face tattoo uncles. The ones, I need a few of them.
You've got a few of them you can get involved, you know.
I live in Scotland. Every street you
Of course you do. Yeah, of course you do.
It's everywhere.
So, when did the training start there, and who and where was you train?
So when I started training, it was originally I was going training with somebody who was really shy and didn't want to go alone, and then they kind of dropped off it, and I just kept on it. But I started training with TJ Rage and Krieger. So like that was when I started there. There was like Emily Hayden, Krieger was there, and there was a few other people who at the time were kind of breaking into the likes of kind of ICW and stuff. At the time, Lou King Sharp was just kind of he had been there for a while, bit by bit, but he was just kind of getting fully known all over the place, sort of thing. So like that was what kind of made me go towards that, is that there was a lot of names like kind of Noam and Kenny Williams, Kaylee Day, like just a bunch of names for there. So that was kind of what drew me there as well, because like although I went with someone else, like I still had a say in like deciding where we went. I was still kind of invested in that decision. So that was kind of what drew me, is who they had created prior.
What was it like? Obviously, you mentioned Krieger. What was it like being trained by him?
It's an experience. Usually, once he's got you trained to a certain point, so like at the point TJ was the main trainer, and when I started, Krieger was actually just like a kind of like see one of the more advanced students that would help out with the training sort of thing.
Yeah,
that's what he was at the time. So like a lot of it was kind of him kind of taking different segments. So at the start it was mostly TJ, which is just, he's like an encyclopedia of wrestling. Like he just seems to know everything. But with Krieger it's a lot more like he knows kind of a lot about structure and kind of psychology that I don't think he gets a lot of credit for. Like that he actually he can work crowds like really well, and like for somebody who has like a certain kind of angle, he can help with pretty much anything. Like the big scary guy stuff he's helped me with, kind of when I was doing some comedy promos for SWN and stuff, like he can kind of branch out to anything. So that was kind of, he was a bit more encompassing of it, and then TJ kind of laid the foundations of the actual training, and then the two of them kind of brought it together.
There's some great training schools right now in Scotland.
Yeah, there's at the time that was I think it was, I started at least just before the Asylum opened.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think the rest, like SWA or Source, I can't remember what it was at the time. I know that there was one of them at the time, but Source now. They'd been about for a good while, and there's a lot of them I did look into as well. But another factor, the one I went to, is it was the closest. But then it wasn't the biggest factor, because we were also going to be kind of factoring going into Glasgow as a possibility and stuff as well. But we just kind of settled where we did.
Yeah, I didn't realise how many. I knew there was a lot of promotions in Scotland. I didn't know how many like good training schools there were. It's only recently, since we started Superkicks, that we've been talking to quite a few people from Scotland. Like Brent Carter for one. He's a really cool guy to speak with. There's is it Ryan Richards? Is it?
Oh yeah,
the Supreme.
He's. I have to say it every time. That guy's a marketing genius.
He is incredible. You know what?
Amazing.
I saw one of his videos and I didn't know anything about the guy. Did not know he existed. I saw a 30-second promo video he shot himself, and I was 100% sold on that guy. I think he's a future star.
Definitely, no. See, hopefully, obviously, I've never seen him wrestle, so we could be saying that I could be absolutely minced. But
I've never seen him wrestle.
Like, I don't think anybody could talk that confidently about anything without being at least okay at it.
Yeah.
So I'm quite looking forward to what he does.
Do you reckon you could smash the Supreme?
Absolutely, no doubt in my mind.
Good man. Good man. That's the confidence I want to hear.
And another guy as well is Ian Skinner, who we've been talking to as well.
Oh yeah, we debuted in the same night actually.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was good. Different matches, but it was the same night. I think it was in my second match though.
So what was it like? You debuted with Ian, then what's your thoughts on Ian? He's making a name for himself as well.
It's good seeing him getting out there and stuff. It's like, because he's bringing something kind of different to what anybody else is, but at the same time, like, if you know, that's like how you see him going to the ring and in the ring and on Twitter, that's literally him. Like, that's just what he's like.
Yeah.
So it's like one of the ones where he's just basically turned himself up to 11. Yeah. And it seems to be working for him, so great.
What do you think you're bringing then? Like, you said that he's bringing something different, and same with the Supreme. They're both bringing something unique to Scottish wrestling and British wrestling. Is there anything that you think you're going to bring to British wrestling in the future as well that no one else is currently doing?
I definitely think that there's, without putting a finger on it too lightly, I don't see anybody like me. Like, I know that there's like a me-sized hole that I could definitely fill.
Yeah.
But also the hair, mostly the hair.
The hair, yeah.
The hair and the tattoos. Like, I kind of look like every 8-year-old's creator wrestler. So I feel like that must be an advantage somewhere.
Well, you've sold me on that, mate. Like, every 8-year-old's creator wrestler. That's it. You'd go straight to the tattoos. You'd spend all your points on tattoos. Yeah.
You know what, dude, right? We've done probably over 130 interviews. I think that's one of the funniest things that anybody's ever said.
Agreed.
That's my favourite comparison as well, because people say I look like a lot of people, like Miss Trunchbull from Matilda. I get that. And Post Malone is another one I get quite a lot.
See that.
And when my hair's down, I get Maui from Moana, which I find particularly weird because he's a different race.
Post Malone, Maui, Trunchbull, an 8-year-old's creator wrestler is the best melting pot of anything I've ever heard.
Yeah, and if wrestling injures me, I can just go to SoundCloud and become Young Hagrid and have like a rap career as well.
Hagrid.
Yeah, it's all made for me. I'm gonna be a millionaire probably.
Probably.
Yeah. It's some of the funniest shit about it. It's like, look, we do Luke Gallows, and that guy is hilarious, and you're knocking him off top spot of funny here.
I'm sorry, but you throw the Scottish accent on anything, and it's instantly 10 times funnier than anything. So.
I don't see. It's better. Old Scottish people are the funniest because they're just angry at everything, man.
Yeah.
Like I was walking to. Like, I live like right across from a Tesco. I was walking there. I don't remember why. Like it was an essential item. I think it was like to get painkillers or something. And like I was walking past and this woman just went, "Oh, were you just into browse, idiot?" Because I went in to get painkillers.
That's amazing.
Oh, they're mental.
I can attest to that though. My granddad was from Inverness.
Up north as well. They're especially angry.
Absolutely, yeah. And he didn't mince his words. You know, he'd tell you straight up. So I've definitely got a part of my family where that was the case. The old Scottish people, they're a different breed.
Oh, they don't have time for nonsense.
No, they don't.
They're just straight to the point. They don't have time to beat around the bush with anything. I think they are just they're definite. They've not got long, so let everything no time waste.
Yeah.
Back to wrestling.
All right.
Because like I said, that's the funniest thing anyone's ever said on this show. I'm standing by that. But I know you mentioned Kenny Williams. Obviously, Kenny went to NXT UK, but you was on the show with him not that long ago. I mean, what was it like? Obviously, working on a show with Kenny. What's he like?
So he was I was actually quite intimidated because it was like week 3 of my training, and TJ was, I think he had like a wedding or something. So Kenny came and took training, and I was like properly weirdly terrified at the time because I was like, right, I'm just gonna like do something weird. He'll tell everybody I'm terrible. My career's over just now. Before I'd even put my boots on that day. But no, he's got a lot of like, one of the things I noticed, especially in training, the like, because he's done it 2 or 3 times with us in seminars and stuff, is like if you ask him to show you something, he can adapt to it really well. So like even if he doesn't know it, he just needs a wee watch it, and he can usually like take you through it as if it's one of his moves. So that's kind of something really good. But also, like, he always brings a good crowd. Like, he gets the crowd going, like, more than most. Because that show was actually my hometown show. And there was a picture of me on this, like, newspaper article from the last show in that venue saying NXT UK star headlining local show. So then I got, like, 900 DMs asking if I was signed to NXT. Because they thought I was the person mentioned. Amazing. But no, that was good. And he was wrestling Daz Black that night, and that was a fantastic match. I trained with him as well, and that was a really good match that night, I remember.
Well, I was going to ask you this, actually. That was going to be my next question, is NXT UK, obviously, at the time that happened, you wasn't signed, and you're still not right now. People thought you was, which is pretty cool.
People thought I was. They didn't
900 people.
Yeah, they didn't seem too shocked by it, which actually brought a wee bit of happiness to me.
That's good, man. And that kind of leads into the question: is that somewhat, obviously the UK right now? There's some great independents here, but we have NXT UK, which is an incredible stepping stone for us to get to WWE now. Like, we never used to have that. If you'd have told me 5 or 10 years ago there's going to be a UK base for WWE, I wouldn't have believed you. That would just seem like a pipe dream. So for you now, I mean, like, it's never been easier to get that shot with WWE. Is NXT UK something that you've got your eyes set on for the immediate future, or as a long-term goal?
Well, to be honest, I never really have long-term goals. I just want to kind of wrestle anywhere that'll have me against anyone. Like, I'm kind of doing the arty part of the wrestling career. I'm actually trying to like do the good matches and that. So literally, if that's where the good matches are, that's kind of where I want to be. Whatever they are is kind of where I want to go. So anyone, anywhere really.
I mean, I saw obviously you did an interview with the Scottish Wrestling Network guys, and I saw you said you wanted to go like the long route almost.
Yeah.
Does that mean you want to work the Indies? Do you want to go to America and places like that?
So like basically, the first goal I had, like, main ways, would be just to kind of be a full term making a living off of wrestling.
Yeah.
Which, before COVID, I was kind of taking a step towards. I was cutting my work hours in half and kind of looking into stuff like that. But along somewhere where, like, I kind of defined, like, if you go to WWE or AEW or wherever you go, it becomes like a job. I feel like that kind of scares me, is that you would get settled. And, like, when I get settled, I get lazy and just kind of stagnate, and I don't like that. So I always like to just kind of keep myself scared that I'm going to just crash and burn.
Do you not think working for Vince McMahon would be enough to keep you scared?
No, he seems like a sweetheart.
I think he's a great guy. Don't get me wrong, I think he's awesome, but I feel like I'd be constantly walking on eggshells.
See, the thing is as well, is that, see, going there, like, I know it's not the case as much now, but, like, they never really seem to, like, it's much easier to get lost in the shuffle there because they've got so much talent.
Yeah, right.
Like, even, like, I have a weird thing where I've always just said that Heath Slater is one of the most underrated guys ever.
Man.
And, like, they had Heath Slater for 16 years, and they couldn't figure out what to do with him because there was so much going on.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing, man. And I miss his accent all the time because I never always catch Impact.
As much as I love it, you know.
Many people that Heath Slater is one of the most underrated guys there is. I've had this conversation so many times, dude. I can't agree with you more. I always had this vision of him, like, just like being the Intercontinental Champion and, like, you know, in that kind of division, and just I
just want to say this now, actually. The prophecy will come true one day, and Heath Slater returns to the WWE, and he will win the Universal Championship or the WWE Championship. Jinder did it, and nobody saw that coming. Drew came back. Drew won the WWE Championship. Now all that needs to happen is Heath comes back, wins the championship. The prophecy will be completed.
Do you know what the thing is? The fact that Jinder did it would surprise me more than Heath doing it.
I always had faith in my boy Jinder.
I love Jinder. Like, I absolutely love him.
Good man. Man.
Oh, Jason, no. God.
Although I hate his finish. Is it the Kalash or something it's called?
I don't know. I ain't seen it in years.
It just puts them in a Cobra clutch and then releases the Cobra clutch and then just slams them.
Yeah, but it beat Randy Orton, though, for a title. It beat AJ Styles, beat Shinsuke. It would have beaten Brock if the match wasn't cancelled.
So, like, you do raise a fair point. It would have definitely beaten Brock. That's a fact.
Right.
But
I like Jinder, but...
No, you don't. You're a hater. You always have been, you always will be. So don't get on the bandwagon now just because Jason's on board. Don't pretend you're a fan.
I'm a Jinder fan. I'm just not a Jinder fan on your level. There's just a difference.
He's really good, man. Like, he can pull off terrible hair as well. He's got horrible hair, but he pulls it off fantastically.
That entrance of his as well, when he used to come out in the suit and there was that little carpet that used to roll out. As he was...
yeah. I just love the
cool
song.
Was that?
I think the song's a banger.
Yeah, right.
It's in my shower playlist.
Brilliant.
Sometimes I get a wee strut in the shower to kid when I'm doing an entrance.
I'm with you. The entrance was great. The look, I'm with you on this. I am. I just don't see the whole world champion with him. But that's just my opinion. Jason, before we start to wrap things up, we mentioned obviously you want to go to the long route, work the indies and stuff. But when the world opens up, hopefully this in a few months or maybe, what does 2021 hold for you?
Well, mostly I'm hoping to be working with Pro Wrestling Scotland, Pro Wrestling Innovation, and the new company coming up called Pro 2 Championship Wrestling in Ayr. So, like, they're like, because I've been like kind of speaking with the promoters and stuff, and like kind of talking about just ideas and stuff, coming up with things. So I'm hoping we can kind of run stuff there, and I'm kind of wanting to kind of dedicate a bit there because they're both kind of relatively upcoming new promotions. Pro Wrestling Scotland's been around for a while, but like it's now after this going to be starting running kind of a bit more regularly. And the same with Pro Wrestling Innovation's just pretty brand new. It's been about a year, and then COVID happened, and Pro Tour Championships the same. It's all new, so I'm kind of hoping to kind of build myself up with these companies as well. That's kind of the immediate plan.
Well, we certainly look forward to watching them as well. But before we go as well, this is where we let you tell everybody where they can find you, social media, anything coming up. Let everybody know, man.
So the only things I've really got coming up is I'm bringing my podcast back. So that's coming back out. I think it should be this Friday coming. So at time of recording, I think it's the 12th. So that would be the 15th, maybe the 15th. It should be out. And that's gonna be that's on Spotify, and that you can get that through my Twitter, which is Jason Hyde PW. And Facebook's just facebook.com/Jason Hyde PW.
What's your podcast about?
It's literally just talking the most nonsense possible.
That sounds good.
It's just a bit. Sometimes I have like a plan for it, but I often don't. So that's
you don't need a plan for it, mate. The best episodes are always where you don't plan anything.
We've got like one where we do like a round. We're going to be doing like a round table monthly with me, Dean Ford, Krieger, and Matt Tyson.
Cool.
We've got one coming up where we're going to just kind of round up 2020, our thoughts on it, and like what we liked, didn't like, things like that. And then we'll do one of them monthly regarding the month. So that will have like a bit of a set plan, but then just the normal interviews are just going to be pure waffle. It's pure unnecessary nonsense.
They're what we do. And like I said, with our interviews, we do a bit of research, but we don't write any questions down. We just like to chat with you. And that's the best way to do it, man. That's how it works.
I enjoy them both ends as well.
When you don't plan questions, you end up talking about Jinder Mahal, which is awesome. So
I'll never pass up the opportunity.
Absolutely, man. We'll do an episode next time all about Jinder. So
we can try and get him on.
Oh, duh. That's a dream.
I'll get a camera with him to just slate me to the ground.
Spend like $1,000 on cameos from Jinder, and then just get him to answer each question. We'll tie it all together, and it'll look like one interview. So.
Exactly, and see how if like anything happens where like I don't know some bad views he has come out or something the time between, you can spin it with editing and make him look horrible.
The perfect.
I think I'm busy that night, but I'll let you know.
I'll do your half of the interview and then I'll come in and be you.
For me, man, I'm perfectly okay with that. But Jason, please do as well. We'll reach out and get you back on as well. Let's say we'd like to bring people back. And and maybe next time you come back on, I might have watched Star Wars. So we'll see.
We can get through that. Your thoughts on that? I like get too excited, but and grill people. I'm like, what did you think of the 36th minute? Like
well, that's the goal. Next time you come back on, I will watch Star Wars. But
good luck, man. Good luck.
Thank you, man. But for now, he is the Hellhound Jason Hyde. We have been Ringsiders. Check us out, Ringsiders Wrestling on YouTube. For now, thank you so much.